go do some things.
He got some things
gotta
to
leave
do.
early, folks. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, he ready. He on time too.
On time.
Mr. I can't stand lateness is on time.
I know, believe that.
Let's write that down. Hey, listen, I had to throw some Shalimar on. Shalimar.
I couldn't figure out what that
I was like, it's Shalimar. You was like, yeah, bitch.
was. I thought it was a Gap Band.
Shalimar going on back, second time around. Today's topic is emotions versus pride. So you know I got some men. Mike, you gonna have to carry it because Rugo got to go.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
You got it?
Now, I'm going to need them. But sometimes, LeBron got to be in the game by himself.
Hey, that is the truth. I see he got on his 49ers stuff.
Absolutely.
So let's just go ahead and let's start on the hot topics. And we're going to talk about the 49ers real quick as far as like the broadcaster. Tim Ryan. Somebody got the same name. How about that?
Oh, okay.
He's a broadcaster. The 49ers end up suspending him. You heard about that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to start with these hot topics real quick and knock that out and get that out the way so y'all can quit looking at Mike later in his 49er gear. I mean, head to toe.
I ain't hating.
You ain't
I ain't hating.
All right, so Tim Ryan, what he actually said, the broadcaster, to make him be suspended, is he was talking about Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
And what ultimately ended up happening, he had made a statement because he's known for doing a fake pass off.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's known for running the ball.
Yeah, running the ball, and he do the fake pass offs. But what he said is that he has an advantage because of his dark skin and the dark football.
Right.
Is that racist or not?
Yes,
That's very racist. That was a
because he
racist
still got
comment.
a purple or white uniform. I mean, so how does that have to, what is he talking about?
Okay.
Now,
Well, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's racially. I think he was frustrated. He was upset. It was a racially frustrating statement that actually.
And he's a 49er fan.
And I'm a 49er fan, and it was the way that it was. The Baltimore Ravens played the 49ers last Sunday. The Ravens had on all dark jerseys with the purple numbers.
Right.
The ball was wet, so that made it look a little, anybody who play football, the ball is wet, it makes it look a little darker. All right? Lamar Jackson and myself, we're dark people. We're dark-skinned people.
Okay, with a black hoodie. Okay,
Right,
so
we're
get the
dark-skinned
picture.
people. All right, so if you tuck the ball in your arm,
Uh-huh.
and you're running a play fake or whatever, you're really not going to be able to see it because we're dark-skinned people, you're not. To me, just like Lamar Jackson said, if that's his advantage, that's his advantage.
Use it.
You can use it. But now, let's not take away the fact, and I'm a 49er fan, that Lamar Jackson is an excellent football player. So, there are sometimes he did not have the ball in his hands. So that means he even fooled that broadcaster at the time.
Uh-huh.
But he's talking out of frustration.
You think so?
Oh, yes. The reason
Okay.
why the 49ers lost is because, now, let's go back. If a Ravens sportscaster would have said that,
It's racist. It's racist.
It would
Still
have
the
been
same?
right. It would have been racist, but it would have been looked at as, yes, it is racist. But a 49er broadcaster said that after losing the game by 3, so they look at it as racially frustrated comment.
Oh.
I mean, so it was racial, but it was said out of racial frustration.
So he should have kept that to the
He could have kept that to himself.
He could have kept that for the kitchen table
Yeah.
instead of
Because
live.
Now, honestly, if I would have said it like, man, you can't even see the ball when his brother carried the ball.
So and that's what we gonna talk about white
Right.
fragility.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But I guess my thing is, so in the history of all play action play fakes ever, white people have never been able to pull this off because their skin don't match the color of the ball.
Because you can see the ball.
It's racist. It's racist.
I'm not knocking that it wasn't racist, but what I'm saying is,
He get a pass.
Absolutely, he doesn't get a pass. But I watched the game because we lost the game, so I watched the game back after he said that. I even watched it more. There was times that Lamar Jackson faked the ball, put it behind his back. You could not see it. He had on a dark jersey. Once again, such as myself, he's a dark brother, and the football is dark. You could not see the ball.
So did Tim Ryan state facts?
It was a racial fact.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Then the boy said pick the. Go ahead, tell us.
I think it was racial.
It was
I mean,
very
I can
racial fact.
see if he said something like, "You can't see the ball up against his dark jersey." That you got a pass for that. But his dark skin, come on now, what that got to do with anything? That was racial to me.
He just should have just
So
said.
you think it was racially
He's great
influenced?
at the play
Yeah.
action. He's great at play action.
And left it at that.
Because
Exactly. That was racially
because
motivated.
the thing is that if he has the ball and if you think there's assignments for everybody on the field. So even if he did a play action fake, a defensive lineman should have still been able to wrap him up or got to him. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's uncalled for. I don't think it's appropriate.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, the voice of reason. What'd you come up with?
It sounds like the argument isn't so much what was said, but in the context in which it was said.
Okay.
If we're having that conversation, nobody would think twice about it.
I'm saying.
So the statement in and of itself is not a racial statement. However, because of who said it and the mindset in which he said it, that is where the controversy comes in. Because I am the color of a football. And if I have on a dark jersey, I'm going to be able to have the advantage because Mary Sue over there won't be at you.
What I got to do with it?
You are lighter than I am. So the contrast of the color of the football would stand out. On me, it wouldn't.
Okay, so my thing is, why didn't anybody ever say this when Michael Vick was quarterbacking? Why didn't everybody say this when Doug Williams was quarterbacking? I mean,
Are they known for faking it?
But is there a certain time when it's appropriate to say
the point I'm saying is like,
expiration date on the
no one's saying, hey, we got to get the darkest quarterbacks we can because they can camouflage the ball. You know, no one's saying that. No one said over history, this guy happened to say this. And to me, I didn't see it, but it sounds racist to me.
And it was said about Michael Vick also. It was said about Michael Vick also against the Dolphins. He said they were in Atlanta. He had on an all-black jersey. Michael Vick is dark. All right? It was said, it was the same comment was said. He's a great play faker. You have no idea when he got the ball anyway. And to go
see, that's a different thing. You have no idea.
That ain't nothing to do
he
with
got the ball anyway.
And plus, they play in the dome.
But he's a great play faker. He got on a black jersey. Michael Vick is our color. Well, me and yours, not Mel. But he pulled off a lot of play fakes like that. But what reason why it seems so racially motivated is because it was the losing team's sportscaster who said it. That's why it seems like, and it was a white guy. It was a white dude. That's why it seems so racist. It does. I don't know. They won the game. When Lamar Jackson even said, I didn't even know I had that advantage. You know, but now it's something to think about.
So what
Use it.
If Stephen A. Smith said it, then is it appropriate? I think it's inappropriate no matter who says it.
Okay.
Well, especially if
but does he? Okay, so let me ask it this way: does he have the advantage? Because
no, there's no advantage. If you don't do your it's like this. Every week, teams play teams, right? They ain't just going out there for the first time and seeing what this guy does. They watching film upon film upon film upon film. So if you're not looking at the formation that's set up, if you're not looking at how they got the backfield set up and what the situation is, the situation sometimes calls for, okay, this is going to be a pass. This is going to be this. This is potentially going to be this. We know they got a history of doing this particular action play where he keeps the ball. So all of that stuff to kind of give this guy an out is no out at all, especially when you think of it from the team's dynamic of preparation for a football game.
Well, you know what? I don't believe that anybody's trying to give him an out. I'm just going off of what Lamar Jackson said out of his mouth.
Okay.
All right? He's saying he knows he is the same color as the football. He laughed it off. All right? Had I thought about that, I'd have tucked the ball a lot more. Because they set up plays, and even the 49ers were saying, I was even saying, I'm sitting in front of the TV. I know Lamar Jackson is an amazing football player. He's 22 years old. I mean, and the dude is fast. It was plenty of times where the strategy was amazing. They put on dark jerseys. Even some of the running backs who is not as dark as Lamar Jackson. They got on long sleeves, black gloves.
So they all use it.
So they know what to use. He faked the ball about 4 or 5 times to the running back. The 49ers collapsed on that running back. Lamar takes off around the corner, gains like 20, 30 yards. But he does that if the ball's not dark. If he got on a white jersey.
Okay.
He's just that good. So what I'm saying is that I can only say to the sportscaster, was it racist? Was it racially motivated? I believe so, and anger. But what he said was, and the same thing I would say if I'm sitting around with my boys watching the game. I can't even find the ball on this brother.
That's what I said. Should that have been to the table talk?
Let's say this then. Well, we can't agree upon this one thing. Every quarterback may not be dark skinned, and a lot of them ain't even black. So let's put that out there.
Okay.
But when you do a play action fakes,
Rudolph.
a lot of the running backs are black.
Right.
Some of them are dark skinned.
That's right.
But nobody has ever said, "Hey, you know that play action when he did that fake, and I thought he had the ball." You know, no one said, "Oh, because his skin is the color of the football. He on a dark jersey. I really thought he had the ball." I don't know. I just kind of feel like y'all trying to find out for this guy.
I'm a 49er fan.
I kind of feel that way. I think it's a bunch of malarkey.
It's
Joe Biden said no malarkey. That's all. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kim.
I'm just saying, I think it's not what was said that we're discussing. We're
Uh-huh.
discussing why it was said. It's the context in which it was said. Because you're right. If we were having that conversation and one of us said it, nobody would think twice about it.
I said when I heard it, I never thought of that.
Because you ain't
like
racist.
Because
Because you ain't racist. It couldn't have been about the guy's ability. It's because he camouflaged.
All white people
that.
aren't racist.
No, they're not.
Well, he had a little bit of racism in him.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing. Not all white people.
He got an extra bit. He got to take a break.
Not all white people are racist. You're
Right.
absolutely right. But there's a lot of black folks that are racist. We don't like white people sometimes. We don't like black folks either.
And we're really sensitive to color. And I'm going to tell you how we just demonstrated it. Because when I was talking about the color of the football and I compared myself to Mel, her reaction was like, how I get in it?
Right.
We are sensitive. We are sensitive to our color.
Mm-hmm.
So, we need to acknowledge that. Sometimes we have to look at where this stuff is coming from. He could have very well meant it to be racist. But we're assuming that because a white guy said it under pressure, and so we've jumped on it.
He ain't had no pressure. He ain't in the game.
His team was
He ain't even the
losing.
coach. He had dude in the booth looking at the game.
Look,
He got all the time in the world before
Wait.
because my team is stinking. We number 1 in our division, but
Dallas.
we're stinking right now.
Dallas.
I'm under pressure.
Okay, you under pressure. Okay, you under pressure. Your team is under pressure.
We be under pressure.
I'm
We always under pressure. Cleveland. I was like,
Here's the thing though. So would it be a racist comment to say the reason why the Cowboys is not as good as they are is because they won't give it to their black running back as much as they let their half-breed quarterback throw the ball. Is that considered?
Yeah.
So now.
listen, you said it, so it's all
Yes.
good. Hey, wait. Let me issue this disclaimer. The thoughts of our guests on the show is not a reflection of the staff at ShopTalk.
I've been comedians since come on. I'm going to say whatever it is comes to mind. But like I said,
Ooh, that sound like me.
So you must be a comedian too, man.
Right.
I know that the sportscaster was upset. Should he have said what he said? No, he shouldn't have said it. But he could have said something, whatever he decided he wanted to say. When it came to that was going to get blown up.
Right.
It's a lot of things that got blown up. Okay, so now Lamar Jackson rushed for 2,000 yards. And now the big story now is the sportscaster. So
Instead of
the 49ers
the game.
lose the game, but they still the top topic of the conversation.
Okay, they stay irrelevant. Now, Rugal, explain to us what white fragility is.
White fragility is, and you might want to look this up again, but from my understanding of the term, it's related to white people's feelings of racism, and if they have, maybe I can use an example better than the definition. It would be okay, like for example, I had a coworker who said, I'm voting for Obama, and she said because he doesn't make me feel guilty.
Man, that's extreme. That's what
It make me feel guilty because of things I had no control over. That was her example. So her fragile state was that like every time there's a situation that impedes against black people, that there's some sort of there's some sort of responsibility placed upon her for no reason.
Okay, as far as like with slavery.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna give you a little lighter one. Okay. That was deep. That was deep. Okay, there's a meme out, and the meme says black people know that they'll put common in the tub like it's seasoned, let it sit.
Yeah.
Let it marinate and let it sit. Okay, now I'm black. Because y'all ain't know the way Kim portrayed me, Kim and Mike. Now, I posted that comment.
Yes.
Now, me posting it is accepted, okay? Somebody white posted, and then even though we know that it's true, because we know some family members that will put some comment in the tub. Listen, they put comment in the tub just so somebody else could clean it, because you got to clean it before you get in it.
Yeah,
okay? So we know somebody that actually does sprinkle some comment, right? If somebody white say okay, and they seen it, then they'll be like, oh, that's racist. That's an example of white fragility. It could truly be factual, just like I shared with the black people that come in. No lie, because I'm on night shift, and then the black workers that scheduled, they come in, never fails, 5-10 after the actual time they're supposed to be there. I could say, man, y'all always late. Or I'd be like, we always late collectively as a group.
We're on CP time.
Right, CP time. Somebody white, they can't say it. They just sit there and just look at the clock. But y'all know y'all see them look at the clock. Okay? But if they said it, they going straight to HR. So that's an example of white fragility. Now, let's move on.
I got an actual definition.
Go ahead, go with the definition.
Discomfort and defensiveness on the part of a white person when confronted by information about racial inequality or injustice. Her indignant reaction came off as the quintessential combination of white fragility and white privilege.
Okay, one more
So,
time.
That was an example.
No, give that example. What was it? Ignorant.
Indignant.
Ignorant.
Her indignant reaction came off as quintessential combination of white fragility and white privilege.
Okay, now, that same sentence, if you were Caucasian, a vanilla wafer, you get away with your
I do
vanilla
not
wafer.
condone the wafer comment.
No, that's somebody black, egg, or white. Okay, here's the deal.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, vanilla wafer. Brown on the outside, white in the middle.
I had no idea what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's me. That's me.
Oreo.
Y'all say Oreo, I say vanilla
No,
wafer.
no,
See, I took it to a whole
Uncle
nother.
Tom.
Oh, okay.
I took it to a whole nother.
Hold on.
I chose a different
Let's
cookie.
think about that. Me and you are the Oreo.
Yeah, I never said it.
You're the wafer. We are sensitive within our own race to complexion.
Okay, now you see how that went off?
Y'all look,
Preaching.
y'all look.
If you sit it together, the darks are on this side, and the almost whites is on this side, but in the middle is all white.
Common denominator ain't all white. Hilarious. Look, why I sit there like vanilla wafer? Look, we can relate to vanilla wafer.
No, wait a minute.
Y'all like, I got
Oh my
You know,
God.
see, matter of fact, even the white folks thought of the same thing, because now the Oreos come a little lighter now. You got the dark Oreo and you got the light Oreo.
Oh, yeah?
I still eat the dark
Oh,
Oreo,
yeah.
though. Yeah.
You got like
Listen,
Oreo.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
But guess what though? But guess
But
what?
they still taste
Nick,
like an Oreo.
listen.
No, the dark ones taste better.
Look, Nick, she understood what the vanilla wafer was about.
Hello.
I guess so.
People.
Yeah, you got.
She understood.
Blame that on my great grandpa.
Listen. So anyway, the point at hand
Got it.
is
It's the wafers against the rules.
right.
The wafers against the rules.
So if somebody Caucasian, white, had made that same statement, which the beginning part of that statement, is our perception of ourselves. Like it said, read the first sentence again. Let's break it down real
that
quick.
was an example.
Yeah, no,
Did
that's
you
an
first-
example. Just the example. Look at him. He got a cold like soon as it go down, like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Dang,
you
what's
got
going
to,
on?
man.
Dang,
It's
what's
real
going
in the field out here. People try to get you.
Clearly.
Her indignant reaction.
Okay,
came
stop.
off.
Okay, her indignant reaction.
Ignorant.
Now listen, right, ignorant. Here you go. If you were Caucasian and you said her indignant reaction and I'm black, then I'm gonna run to HR. No, I'm just saying. Because it's our perception of ourselves.
But if I'm HR, you come to me and you said,
She called me ignorant.
She
called me
indignant and ignorant.
What's she trying to say? I'm loud. I got a mouth.
I am deemed absolutely correct from my perspective. It would be indignant.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I mean, so a good example. I was at this thing, right?
Go ahead.
And somebody, even though they weren't referring to a black person, they were white, and they said the word uppity. And I was like, it just did not hit the ear right. You know what I mean?
Why? Because somebody referred to you as
no, it wasn't referring to me.
No, but
they were talking to somebody else.
But
they said the word.
Because you uppity.
I'm
uppity.
I'm on the top of these.
Listen, he didn't confirm nor deny that statement.
I'm on top of these. You know what I mean?
You're like, they're talking about me.
No, but they were talking about somebody who was white. But when they said the word, I was like, damn, y'all didn't set y'all family back 50 years. You know what I mean? I mean, not even that, 60 now. I don't know. But the point is that like when they said it, I was like, man, that just sounds so bad. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When they said it, you know, like
just
so.
Didn't hit your ear right.
No, not at all. Didn't hit my ear right at all.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I mean, it's just you know, and they were saying, you know, they were saying about somebody who was their own race, but the point was just like I was just like, that's one of those words that should probably just be removed.
Eliminate.
Because
There
like,
you
cause
go.
like, no, because I'm saying like this, because if your white counterpart at work said, you know, HR Mel was acting uppity. I'm damn sure saying
all
that,
the time.
If a white person
I didn't
said
hear you,
it, I'm just saying that has racial under and overtones to it. I'm just saying,
Okay.
like that's
It's just a rude word, you think?
it's super inappropriate word when we
At
refer
work.
to as an African American. It's always the African American person who they use it for is someone that's, this is the first person that's trying to get in and out this office, or for this they got a degree, so they uppity, or they're trying to, you know, they the best mechanic, whatever it was,
That's
whatever
all
it was doing.
about perception, though.
But the perception was based upon white fragility.
Let's get some.
You see that?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go ahead. Let's get a crowd. Let me see. I can't even see. Oh man, can't even do it. There we go. Let's see. There we go. I'm like, let's get a crowd of applause. I like the way you brought that back around. However, we all are listening, and we all are witnesses to Rugal. And Rugal, listen, they still cheering for you.
I know, man. That's a great audience. They don't care if the segment over.
They still doing it. Rugal is like all sensitive America.
I'm super sensitive.
Listen, you want to take away all words.
Super.
Ralph sensitivity. Ralph Tresvant sensitive.
Yeah, especially that word, uppity.
He like remove the whole word.
Like,
If we remove all the words, we don't have.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, that does remind me of that one phrase in Django. This here uppity.
I mean, like, it's always.
Now that you said it, and that came to me like.
That's a writer. Amazing Grace. Remove Amazing Grace.
Hold on now. In Amazing Grace, they say uppity in the phrase.
But it was a white writer that wrote that movie.
No, so now y'all not watching Django? I never watched it.
No, I watch it. But Quentin Tarantino, he's a very good mover, but yeah.
That's your movie?
He wrote that.
Go ahead.
I just want, it ain't even February.
It is Black History. In the words of Tom Joyner, Black History
365 days in a year.
Ain't February.
365.
Whenever you got a reason for a season.
Let's just get some Black History,
Oh
right?
man, amen.
Django, I did not watch Django. I am that person. I will not watch Roots. I haven't watched. Y'all not about to upset me. Y'all not getting ready to take me back and make me think, okay, put me down. Because here's the thing. When I watch movies like that, I'm like, dang, I want to be happy. I don't want to be pissed off.
Oh no, Django, you gonna like, because you know Jamie Foxx did that.
Yeah,
and that's see, y'all movie watchers. I ain't really that much of a movie watcher. I'm a snacker.
It got some
I go to the movies for snacks.
Yeah, it got some things though.
Yeah, we know
See what
Black
I'm saying?
Panther.
It got a few things.
Snack Bandit.
Right.
Snack Bandit.
But and it does. See what I'm saying? So it has some things that makes you think. But I'm like, if you're a reader, you already read about it. Why do I have to keep revisiting that? And that's why it makes me so
Well, you
upset.
know
And here's
what?
a Black History moment. We were kings and queens. Why do we have to keep going back to that? They keep making movies. Y'all keep going to go see them. And I'm gonna say y'all, I refuse to allow myself. You have to protect your positive energy. And I'm not gonna go somewhere and be ticked off. And I'm not going to blame, just like you were saying, whoever it was that, that set them back. I'm not going to blame somebody else for what my ancestors went through. I am happy that they went through that, and I need to make sure. And I'm with, knowing your history or you bound to repeat it, but I'm going to make sure that I don't put myself in that situation where I'm able to repeat. That's why I always vote. So exercise your right to vote.
But you know what? This is what I'll say about film when it takes on those particular topics and those things in history. Is that you can read it, but film gives it this way of being real to those people who have no true lineage to the actual devastation of those events.
So you're saying those who don't have an imagination?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, for example, in the movie Glory, when Denzel Washington's character, when that tear come down his eye, and I don't know if y'all seen Glory or not, but he was the hardest thing out there. You know what I'm saying? It was just like he kind of
one moment where they broke him.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a long moment. It was just one. He didn't even accompany it with the other. Actually, I think only one eye got watery. But the point is, in that moment there's something that's portrayed there that reading just won't get, especially when we don't have history books that reflects the events in such a way to really amplify the impact of those events. Okay. On the people, not because when we see it, it's usually like, well, they talk about triangle slave trade and how it was economic and the economics of it, and then the justice part of the piece. But they don't really tell you about like the beheadings, the tar and featherings, the hangings and all that. I mean, they don't really go into that detail.
They have some, but you have to dig a little deeper. They're not going to.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just the issue of when you have those extremes. Sometimes it's just the issue of the survival of those who were just in the mainstream of those events and how those things impact you. And I think there's a way that film brings those things to life in a way that, even though I may have already have feelings for that, because I don't want to say no, but you can relate to the experience in a sense. But when it's that white counterpart or that Hispanic counterpart who sees that event, I think it brings a level of like,
it to the forefront.
Yeah, this is not just words. This is something they can actually see happen, even though it's a portrayal by
I got you, and I agree with you. That was just for the sake of argument. That's why I like with the book, How the Wife Becomes the Other Woman, I brought it to the stage. Why did I bring it to the stage? Because there are visual people, and let's bring it to life. That's why I said Grace, so I want to clear that up. You had there was a female, her name was Grace. And that's why I said, like, Amazing Grace. So you look at Amazing Grace, like, do you think of the song Amazing Grace? Or you thinking of Grace, how amazing she was in the bedroom. So, that's what I'm saying. Look at Grace.
Okay.
I gotta go back just a second.
Go ahead. Go back and then we gotta move on.
Just a small second. There's 4 movies that I've seen in my life, and I disagree with the racial part. I'm gonna go a little deep, and I'm gonna see how far I can get it. I seen the movie Glory, thought it was an amazing movie.
Okay.
I seen the movie Losing Isaiah, which was an amazing movie.
That was an amazing movie.
I also seen the movie Training Day. And
that was amazing.
And then I also seen the movie Monsters Ball.
Okay.
Now I'm talking about 2 actors.
Halle Berry and Denzel
Washington.
Yes.
And we're talking about racism.
Go ahead.
If I was the Oscars, Denzel Washington would have got an Oscar for Glory. Halle Berry would have got one for Monsters Ball. He did. So, but Halle Berry didn't get hers Halle Berry didn't get hers for Losing Isaiah, which she should have. But she did finally get her Oscar for Monsters Ball. If anybody has ever seen Monsters Ball, you would have been so disappointed, so upset. If you look at it, just like my man said, the perception from the outside looking in. Why did shout out to Jadakiss? Why did she have to be this character to get that award?
I think
That strategic award, if I said that right. Why did she have to be this character? Why did she have to do what she had to do with this person? And losing Isaiah, she lost her son. You know, she fought to get it. I mean, see, you was really in there. You tuned in. I'm talking about blinders on tuned in. Monsters Ball, it's one scene in there I couldn't even watch.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
I know what
I could not even watch that scene.
But we want to get a movie away for those who might want to watch it.
Go ahead and watch that. If you ain't got nothing to do, unless
if you want to be a man during the holiday season, go ahead.
I think that like to add to his example, Malcolm X would be that role that he should have definitely got an Oscar for.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
But this is what happens in Hollywood sometimes. A lot of times is that they even with white actors, they realize that they made a mistake by not giving them that award, and so later on when they do something that's notable, they be like, well, we messed up last time, we better hurry make it right this time.
For people like Rugel writing in and we sitting there and boycott.
Take it out of the dictionary.
Right.
Like it's the thing that's like this. It's like, do y'all remember the movie that won Best Picture over Color Purple?
No.
I don't. I had to look it up, and even when I looked it up, I forgot. So but we can all say that everybody. I remember going to the movies to go see that. Right? And it was this white lady coming out there crying, like booger crying. You know what I mean? Like walking out there, like that had like so much of an emotional impact on people across the spectrum. And then like they kind of see that, like I was like that was my first time really seeing somebody like emotionally tied to something like that,
You do know they cried when Rick got killed in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that in the movie. Guys was crying.
Ricky, Cleo.
But Color Purple was 1980. Was it 2 or 3?
Wow.
85?
Okay, let Kim Ham go to her. And she get ready to check it out. Now here's the thing though. You have people that cry for that, and then you have those of us who actually live it, that it's our normal.
And let me talk about that real quick, because there's been some controversy about the lady who portrays Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
In 2013, she wrote a text that I was looking for the original text so I could say the words, but she said something, it was about African Americans and their language. And she said, I don't want to sound ghetto like African Americans or something like that. And so the conversation became, why is Hollywood casting people who are not African Americans to play the role of African Americans in history? And because like and myself, I agree with that. I'm like, hey, you could at least cast somebody who has the weight of
more realistic?
knowing. No, just the weight of knowing how important the role is, like historical. And not to say that she don't know her history or whatever, but if she made a comment like that in 2013, she wasn't down. She wasn't down with the struggle of seeing things from an African American lens.
But a lot of African Americans aren't down with seeing the struggle from an African American lens.
But that's true though. But there's an international kind of view of African Americans, which I learned from my wife, is that people sometimes feel like, for some reason, they think that every African American has the opportunity here to be a lawyer, a doctor, a this, a that. You know what I'm saying? And they just think like we take our opportunity as Americans, we don't take an opportunity as Americans to do better. I'm just telling you.
Right.
And I was like, that is some utter bullshit.
Okay.
Especially. Yeah.
Ding, news reveal. Okay.
Ring all the bells.
Ding,
Go get the Liberty Bell. Shake that one. Because that's what we want. We want liberty. But the point I'm saying is, there. When I heard that, I was like, so let's clear the air. I was like, and she got kind of upset with me. But I'm just gonna put it out there. I was like, y'all y'all being where the country that she's from. I was like, independent, right? But yet y'all judicial system, y'all lawyers and your judges wear white powder wigs. For what reason? Why? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you continue to do that? I was like, so just like in your culture, there's pieces that came from your, that were pre your independence. There are still issues associated with the hierarchy of African Americans, regardless of the fact of freedoms, elimination of slavery, civil rights, the ability to be able to vote. Because if those things were to end all be all to those issues, we wouldn't have to have programs like affirmative action. We wouldn't have to have investigations from the equal employment opportunity offices, or labor relation boards and things like that to talk about discrimination, not only with people of color, women as well, and anyone they don't deem fit to that resembles with the ideal status quo of that leadership should be in that organization.
Okay.
I'm gonna get shot after this.
Bind the devil. We don't want that. What year?
Color Purple came out in 85. I just want to make note that in 1995, Lawrence Fishburne was the first African American actor to portray Othello.
Yeah, great.
So I mean, it goes
both ways.
Yeah, but the thing was, Othello was written as it was black.
But it was never portrayed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I want people to.
Why you playing Beethoven? Black.
Yeah.
And he's never portrayed as black. Has never been.
Is it February? It ain't.
It ain't. What's all trying to say?
Well, let's just
it
take
is
a
Black
moment to
History Month,
recognize
365 days a year.
It is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor bombing, so for those, shout out
for our
to
D-Day
our
veterans.
veterans.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my mommy would have been 73 today.
Oh, well, happy birthday
and
if she
what?
was still here.
And my mom, happy birthday. Her birthday was on the 6th. She would have been 65.
Oh, man.
So,
Oh, man. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah,
She would've
every
been
year
65.
we have a chocolate chip cookie cake.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, that is nice. Now, is that saying something? With a chocolate chip cookie cake.
Yeah, I
So
love
the-
chocolate chips.
Chocolate
why
chip.
not an Oreo cookie cake?
Because it is not dark enough.
You know what?
The cake is not dark enough. I mean, it was just a tradition that we started last year.
Okay.
And so every year we make a chocolate chip cookie cake. And even my kids like, well, you know what? I don't want the original snack because they usually get like an apple or orange.
Uh-huh.
They say, well, I'll wait. Grandma's cake. We say happy birthday, we cut the cake, we eat it.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a wholesome family. He was like, they get their snack. It's usually apple or orange. I'm
Are you
like,
trying to call me uppity?
Like,
Because
no little Debbie's, no honey buns,
that's
That's
all.
my brother right
no
there.
cheese on wheat
Well,
crackers.
this is his choice of words. It's a wholesome family.
Listen,
Right, wholesome. Can't say wholesome.
That's all one of those things where you don't, some of the things that I used to eat when I used to go to bed used to keep me up. It used to give me like little nightmares.
sugar
Little sugar rush.
It's-
So, I know my sugar rush can outlast my mom. So I
Okay.
can get back on my game. So
Okay.
my mom was like, you know what? Let's try an apple. Let's
Well,
try
you
an
know
orange.
Apple has
Right. But she know I don't want no apple or no orange. So I'm just going to bed.
okay. So just offer it up.
Strategy.
Good strategy. Okay. What do you do to celebrate your mom?
That's excellent.
We just,
Say
I
happy
celebrate
birthday.
my mom every day still.
Okay, so what for her birthday? Anything special?
No, I don't do anything special for her birthday.
Okay.
You did today. You gave a shout out to your mom.
Hey.
And I usually shout her out every year on her, Facebook since she's passed away. So.
Okay.
My wife said, don't you want to do a couple things that your mom used to do for her birthday? I said, oh, no.
What's that mean?
Oh, no. Those are illegal.
I'm like, what does that mean?
No. The drinks that she used to drink and the fragrant cigarettes she used to smoke.
Oh, okay.
We can't do all that. We'll do the cookie cake.
Yeah, we'll stick to the chocolate
Here we
chip.
go.
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate
cookie.
chip.
Okay, speaking of that, America's Got Talent has been like in the tabloids. And look, hey, okay, so we're gonna talk about Gabrielle Union. Allegedly, they feel as though it was racially motivated why she is no longer on the show. However, let me put this out here because I know y'all gonna go on with it. The women are always replaced on America's Got Talent so fast. The men, they kind of like stick around and stay. But she's saying that it's, I'm not going to say she's saying, let's say they, since we don't know who exactly they is. They're saying that they pretty much told her she had to go because she was too black since she had wore the braids.
Too black.
That's my words. That's not there, so don't go, looking like, oh, okay. But they feel as though it was racially motivated why they got rid of her. However, I watched the show and I seen where they replaced the women with younger women.
Okay.
Younger relevant women. Go ahead.
With that, I watched, I think it's The Talk with,
Sharon Osbourne.
yeah, Sharon Osbourne. She weighed in on that because she said they started that show. Simon wasn't even on that show, even though he was the producer
owner?
or whatever, the owner of it. And she said they had a habit of always replacing the women with younger looking
Okay,
women.
see, I
That's what
watched it
she
and that's
said.
what I observed. Okay. So that's what I observed.
She really didn't think it had anything to do with the race or per se, but she said they're always, and she was pissed off about that though.
You know what though? It is kind of funny because I can't remember the jewelry store it was. It was on the mall by, it was in our mall on the corner by the
Pearson Pagoda?
No. It's an actual. It was actually a store. It was not a kiosk.
Okay.
But whatever it was I can't think of the name of it, but it's K's is here. You go down the hall, it's that other one, but you go across the hall, it was that one.
Was it
that
Jim
was
Lawrence or something?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's
Jim
like
Lawrence
boxed up now or whatever.
Okay, it was. I know where you're at.
Well, anyway, inside that place, they used to have these pictures of Gabrielle Union. Like she had to be like 14 or something. I don't know how old she was,
Okay.
but she was pretty young. And but they kept them up. Like you would be like, damn, these some old ass pictures. You know what I mean? But they still kept them up for a long time. And then you go down the hall, you go to New York and Company, and she was all over that place. You know what I mean? I kind of just feel like how when you start talking about when you start talking about Gabrielle Union and a youthful look, I don't know no one who looks more youthful.
Right. Even
Like
now.
it's
Even
hard.
now,
Like it's hard to say. Like it's hard to say. Well, she's just, we thought she was older, so we. Now the interesting thing is who they replace her with. Now who did they replace her with?
It's not yet. We have to wait till next
Oh,
season.
okay. Well, I'm sure that'll be a person of color. They
You
replace
know
her with.
that.
I'm sure that'll
You
be.
know
sure.
that.
Now the issue is gonna be how much of a person of color they replace her with. Now they get somebody who might not be full-blown African American. It's gonna be some kickback. I mean, so I think.
And if they get somebody that's smaller and petite, they gonna say, okay, it's
smaller
a
and
weight thing.
petiter than her.
Listen,
And
it's
also she gained
always
weight.
something. It's
Yeah.
always
She
something.
gained weight. I
That's
haven't
why.
seen her. I don't watch that
Yeah,
show.
she looks good. She looks great. But
Okay.
I'm just saying somebody smaller and petite, more petite, and then they're gonna say, oh, okay, well they want somebody smaller. It's just like, give me a break. That's why I'm not mad at the Victoria's Secret when they canceled that whole fashion show. That man had an idea. He said, this is what I want. It's supposed to be, it's the imagination, and this is the type of female that I'm looking for. When you had different people that were saying they need to get fuller figure people, models, they need to get transgender on there. That is that man's idea. That is what he wanted. So guess what he said? Cancel the whole thing. Because people like Rugo, who feel like we need to do some things.
Hold on.
No.
I'm letting get your thought out.
They're like, okay, that is this. That's that. That's discrimination. It's like, oh my gosh, well, why would you can't even have a thought. If that was the case, if we weren't able to have freedom of speech, like now, thank God we can have that because y'all
You got
to
the
take that
freedom to
off.
say whatever you want to, but you got to
You
face
got
those
the backlash.
consequences too.
You got backlash for everything.
You ain't free of
That's why I
consequence.
love this show. Because guess what? You get to say what you want and
Uh-huh.
speak how you feel and do what you want and have different opinions.
Is she up here?
And it is what it is.
Yeah, like she overstepping, calling me softy up in this mug. Overstepping.
See,
But
that's the perception. And I'm not kind of
She overstepped. Whatever.
With sensitivity.
Well, I gotta go. Or else
He really does have to go.
I really gotta go. ShopTalk. Not to share my feelings. Like Trump when he left the G7 conference. He was like, all the that's my quick political thing. All those foreign leaders were talking about Justin Trudeau and the French the France's prime minister or president, and then Great Britain's Boris Johnson and some other folks. They was in a circle at this summit talking trash on Trump. You know, but like talking about like who has a 45-minute press conference for this and blah 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 that, and they was all laughing. And stuff.
Right.
And so when Trump got word of it, because like the world got word of it, he was like he cut his time short and he ended up leaving. So you know, but he said I just left and now
So that's what you about to do? You about to
No, I ain't doing that.
No, he does have something to
yeah,
do. So
I got something to do. But yeah.
I appreciate you stopping by, Ruben.
I had a great time.
As usual, each and
All
every
right.
Saturday.
Each and every Saturday.
Each
Tune
and
in,
every
y'all.
Saturday. Good luck.
Thank
Tell your wife good luck. I'm excited to see her pieces.
All right.
And did she do her website yet?
No. Hey.
Okay.
He like,
Hey. She
All
got
right.
some great pieces. Look at him. He really
yeah.
hit it out.
I ain't gonna touch
running.
that
He
one.
was running.
You gonna get in trouble?
See you later.
He's
Have a
like,
good
huh?
time.
That's gonna be great. She has great pieces. Great pieces. All right, so let's just move on. Billy D. I told you lovely people last week about, was that last week? I like miss listen, doing this show on Saturday, I miss all the hot topics and I can't wait to give it to you. So I don't know if I talked about it last week or not, but Billy D said that he was gender fluid and I'm like, at 83 years old, you should have just took that on home, right onto the grave. Like we really don't care who you sleeping with. However, once he realized what gender fluid was, he said he was misunderstood because he didn't know. See, that's why, listen, them season folk, them old people, stop it. Stop. They done gave him a term and he misunderstood what gender fluid was. He said he's sensitive.
Hear that YouTube.
Wait a minute, he said that he was, he is a sensitive guy. He's like, but no, wait a minute.
Right.
Once he found out what gender fluid was, he's like, hold up, wait. Something wrong.
He set the record straight for real.
He set the record straight. Nick, you want to go ahead, voice of the people?
Okay, my thing, what made me mad was this YouTube video everybody was sitting around, and they had whoever did the pictures of him at one of the little, I guess, award ceremonies or whatever, had painted eyeshadow and lipstick on him, and then when you listen to this off-brand YouTube website, I can't even remember the name, but when I remember his name, I'm gonna call him out and talk about him. But he had this fake interview, like he said it right here, with this identify, I'm a she, or I identify with she, her. It wasn't even Billy D's voice. Everybody know that man got a distinctive, deep, smooth voice. This man's voice was deep, but it was raspy, and the way he was speaking, anybody that knows or watched any of Billy D's films, you know the man's voice, and that wasn't his voice. So therefore, I nicely posted that when I seen he was like, wait a minute. I was like, a lot of these elderly people don't know the new terms nowadays.
Shoot, I'm sitting here trying to look it up.
Right, I didn't even,
I don't even know what that
I didn't even know what gender fluid meant neither. But listen, that man, and I had somebody when I posted that said, well, I didn't take it as that, he was bisexual or anything. I took it as when he said that he was like, appeals to his softer side as in relation as, dealing with women. Yeah. So that's where she was like, she never did take it as that. She took it as what he says. He always appeals to his softer side, sensitivity for dealing with women, his women and stuff like that. So yeah, she was like, I never did take it like that. I was just taken aback that, but then you have to figure, look how old this man is. Of course he ain't gonna be up with the lingo like that. They went in on that old man like, I want to know who the one.
Well, why ain't go in on him, though?
Yeah,
let's give the accurate definition of gender fluid. Give him to go to, girl.
Denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender.
See, poor man. He didn't even
know.
He didn't even know what that was.
I had to look it up.
I didn't even know.
Hold on, you gonna have to read it again because I'm still stuck.
Relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender.
So if you are cool with a person who's gay, you're supposed to be that or
to
what is
me,
it? I mean,
From that definition,
I'm
it's
not-
just like I'm just me.
right. Okay, well then I'm me. I mean, because people are people. It really don't matter. You can be whoever you want to be. That's you. Now,
I don't
Look,
get
I'm
it.
like,
My
literally.
gender is
It's-
female. So
Right.
we're talking gender or sexuality. I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Right.
He said he's gender what?
Fluid.
He said, but
So
he didn't know
so
what
it-
the meaning was.
So, well, he's
I
gender
don't know what
fluid
the
or
meaning
fluent?
no, that's fluid.
Let's go
Like
with the
fluid, like fluid, poured in fluid.
Okay. Well,
They done took
But now that he knows what it means, especially after
He's like, wait, hold on.
No.
Whoever his PR person was, they failed him.
You
Yeah.
gotta fix that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Kimberly now. I'll be Timothy at 12. I mean, what does that mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What we gonna do?
Hell, I mean, those.
That's over my head. I don't know.
I don't. Hey, Billy
Anyway,
D.
y'all, Billy D
Still
is
be Billy D.
Billy D.
There wouldn't
Billy
be
D
no
is the man.
Coke 45 without
Exactly.
Billy D. Williams.
Man,
Now I'm
listen,
trying
I think
to say
that's
it.
why it's sold like
And
that.
they're still flying off the shelf.
Exactly.
And everybody's drinking it. Gender fluential people, everybody having some
Everybody
sexual
else,
But you
desire.
know there was a lot of older women that was having a heart attack. Oh Lord, Billy D is gay. No, Billy D said he
Bad,
not
they had him
gay.
as bad, like, oh my gosh, that was nuts. They was hurting a whole lot of folks' feelings. All right, since he gone, because y'all know he can't stand R. Kelly,
Yeah.
but I want to speak for him because since he's not here. However, let's move on. We got R. Kelly, who they are now trying to get more charges added on, saying that, what was it, that he, bribery charges since 1994 with Aaliyah. Now she gone, let her go.
Mhm.
Well, are they just trying to find something on him? I mean, listen, we already talked about separating the art from the artist, but come on now.
If they
Now-
were
now
gonna
they
do
talking
that,
about-
they should have brought that up back then when it happened.
Back then, if her parents were, I think once they did that, what was it, Surviving R. Kelly, that movie?
Mhm.
Once they did Surviving R. Kelly, it's like, oh, okay. To me, you want to get him with the bribery charge. What about the person that went and did it? Because he actually confessed.
Yes, he did.
He was like, well, yeah, I knew, blah, blah, blah. So you were an enabler. You were an enabler. Well, come on. What's your thoughts on that, Kim?
I'm thinking that at this point, and it happened with another celebrity as well, they got off the first time. They got out of it. This time, they're making sure there's no out.
And
They're
that's
going
my...
to throw everything.
But here's...
That's the way I'm seeing it.
And here's my thing. If you have already been tried, how do you retry something that's already been tried?
Isn't that called double jeopardy?
Double jeopardy.
Yeah, like, come
double
on,
jeopardy.
I don't...
But double jeopardy is you can't be convicted for the same crime twice.
So now
But that's what they're trying to do.
Or once you've been acquitted, that's
It's
it.
over.
They can't come back at you. And I think we understand that wrongs have happened. I don't think that's where the conversation is.
Right.
However, how thickly do you have to lay it in order for it to stick? I think that's where they're at now. We know that things are happening that are inappropriate.
Right.
There are blames to be placed different places. However, every time we get him in front of a judge, he's able to walk out. Prosecutors are trying to assure that does not happen again.
Okay, but how are you going to go back? Can we do what's going on now?
Because if there's another charge within an accusation, okay, we got you out of this charge, but maybe there's a loophole here. Or
Yeah,
there's
like the
another-
robbery.
There's another term there. So, because their goal is not to necessarily...
Is to keep them locked up.
Okay.
Basically.
That's the goal. To keep them locked up.
So that's the answer. Their
Yeah.
goal
And
is to
you
make sure
also
he
can
stays put.
have you can also have state charges, and those can be dropped.
And then
Then the
feds come
feds will
in.
pick it up.
Yes.
See, and I get that. I'm just looking.
I
I'm not
believe you heard that.
I'm not trying to say that he's right. By far. What'd you say?
He's
Allegedly heard that.
Allegedly. Okay.
Just allegedly.
Alleged. Okay. I'm not siding with him, but I'm just looking at, okay, if it wasn't R. Kelly, if it was Joe Schmo from Under the Bridge, would it be the same?
Well, people hate
Joe
R. Kelly
Schmo
right
from-
now.
but-
They hate him, so
So-
they want anything.
Now
that they
why?
can get.
Okay, you don't like what he did. Listen, be mad all you want. 12 Play was the bomb.
I still,
Woo,
yeah.
Listen,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I've
They
been
like
struggling with
mute
myself
R.
listening
Kelly,
to a
mute
lot of
R.
that
Kelly.
stuff. Yeah.
Baby, listen. Okay. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say there. Does he have issues? And yeah, when you listen to certain songs, you're like, wait a minute, was he talking about a child? It's all about perception.
Yep.
Word for the day, perception.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna move forward from that, from the R. Kelly thing. So you explained how that could come in. There is a loophole because now it's the bribery. So would it be against that guy? Is he gonna come and testify, the one that did the surviving R. Kelly, and say, hey, yeah, he bribed me into doing that, but you took the bribe. Aren't you guilty too? It's almost like selling
What
food
about the
stamps.
parents?
Mama like selling food stamps. You know that it's wrong.
Right.
And then if I buy your food stamps, I'm in trouble too.
What about Aaliyah's parents? In fact, what about all those parents that did take bribes?
Yeah.
Are they gonna bring them
wait a
forward
minute. I
as
don't know
well?
nothing about Aaliyah's parents. Now we talking about Johnson Savage's parents. I don't know about Aaliyah's parents. Now, did they take a bribe? Did they?
No, I'm wondering if they did.
I think that they need to. And we don't know. We're just talking. We just shop talking. I'm wondering if they went with this new case right now. You have Aaliyah who has passed away. Did y'all consider her parents? You know what I mean? It's going to be coming back up. It's like, can my child just rest?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, I think those are some things that people need to take into consideration, even though it's, it's wrong. I'm not saying that it's right, but now they have to relive that because to my understanding, even with that, and to my understanding, allegedly, when they were doing Surviving R. Kelly, they had to bring her back up because she was part of that story. So now it's like, now I have to look, even though my child is gone, let me, you know what I mean? I have to relive this, and here she is again. And they're going to bring that back and all those newspaper clippings. And let's be honest here, because remember, the mother was upset. She didn't know about the whole marriage. That's why that stuff was annulled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her parents like, hold up. So they weren't, they're a little different from allegedly the Jocelyn Savage people. Now, the Jocelyn Savage, did you see where she was like, I guess she was charging people, but she said that was a fake account on Instagram and it wasn't her and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not really feeling none of them because we had our thoughts. Because remember, me and Nick, the voice of the picnic community, had it thinking like, why would you take your child if you know the history of Rest in Peace Aaliyah? Mm-hmm. If you know what he's been accused of in the past that he got off on, why would you put your child there? Just like, what's her name? It's not, what's the girl's name? She was on there too, and her niece came and she brought her niece. Sparkle, and then she removed herself from that. So you have people that are like, wait a minute, no, I'm not for none of this stuff. I'll remove myself. I'm not doing any parts of the music. You up here taking advantage of my niece, and then they make their own decision. And we already know, like when they 13, 14, that's what's it called, the 14-year-old blues. If y'all ever heard that, it's like when you have a girl during that time, expect the 13, 14-year-old blues, because during that transition, I'm telling you, they done lose
that right doggone now.
Are you? How old is she?
13.
Ah!
Right.
Look at there. You had that.
Right.
And
right
it's like,
now.
what is wrong with you?
And it's the simple things that
Sense of independence.
I just can't quite grasp the concept. And this is what a lot of people, I tell my daughter this, and I hope, nope, she's not listening because she's in her room right now. Either or.
You hope.
I got her there because this is the thing.
You ain't got her TI, do you? Go ahead.
I won't. Here's the thing. I don't even do social media. I don't do no Facebook, no nothing. But here's the thing. I heard a young man say this on Judge Mathis the other day. Okay. It seems that
shout out to Judge Mathis.
The kids who have are unappreciative, and the kids that don't seem to be more appreciative.
That's life.
So what I'm saying is everybody seems to want more. They seem to want more. They got what they a lot of people want what they want and look past everything that they need, regardless. So I sat down and talked with my 13, whatever this is right now.
His phrase,
whatever
this time.
This 13-year-old time, and she doesn't have to. And which it's through the grace of God. Shout out to Denise. Rest in peace. She gave me my needs and not my wants. And then she told me, you just never know when you're going to get something else, so you have to take care of what you have.
Okay.
See, nowadays, I worked on not being a father that spoils. It's like, take care of this, and then you got this. Me and my daughter have an agreement. A lot of people may not agree with it, but this is my agreement. You get the honor roll. Sky's the limit. You want the new pair of shoes? You got the new pair of shoes. You want this? You got that. Sky's the limit. Because straight A's take you to college. You get straight A's in college, they'll take you somewhere else. They'll take you to the job that you want. You get the job that you want, and the job that's going to pay you, you can buy whatever you want. Whatever you want. But see, nowadays, especially with mine, they want to cut out the middleman. They want to cut out that middle person. It's like, I want to be great, but but I'm not gonna work hard to get great.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go.
So the generation of entitlement.
Very much so. I was coming up on that one. So it's because of what they see. They see this and they see that, and I give her this. She is she's honest, and when she get kind of like,
Gotta love it.
she's honest. This person at my school has these jeans. I never heard of this stuff. These jeans, these clothes. She said, I believe I should have 4 or 5 pair of shoes. This means the amount of clothes or whatever. So I asked her. I said, why are you going to school for that reason? People are going to see you. They're going to look at you. They're going to see you. Now you done bought all these clothes, you got all that and everything. Now you're more worried about what people see, and you're not worried about school.
Okay.
At all.
Right there. Kim Ham, you want to?
I have so much.
I know.
To
Go.
say.
She get ready to answer that.
I don't even know where to start because, first of all, shout out to Cicely Tyson, who said we live in an era where all of the fighting for our children has been done. We have given them nothing left to fight for. Therefore, they have no sense of appreciation for what they have. They don't.
Woman.
So that's shout out to Cicely Tyson. She didn't say it. That's not a quote. That's a paraphrase. But your daughter feels validated if she can keep up with what she sees other people having.
Absolutely.
We are driven by worth, satisfaction, and security. We are looking for that all the time. You will find it in control. You will find it in gratification. Whatever decision you make, it is to give you a sense of value, to satisfy something, or to give you a sense of security. So because she knows that you have the resources, she wants to utilize them to buy herself a sense of validation. She wants to buy gratification. She wants to buy security. So what you as her father will have to do is teach her that who she is starts in here, not out here. And you do that by highlighting and emphasizing and teaching her. You know, and I had to tell my daughter, because my daughter was the first child in 500 years on one side of the family, and her father was the baby on the other side of the family. So the baby's kids, you know, she got doted upon. I had to tell her, I understand that you don't know how selfish and spoiled and entitled you are. But one day you will call me and say thank you for every time I told you no. Christmas time, she would get the little Toys R Us thing, and I would say circle everything you want. And after she circled everything she wanted, I say now pick 3. You have to teach your child impulse control. You have to teach her self-worth from the inside out. And she is awesome, in the awesome position, your daughter, because she has her father to teach her how she should be treated. Don't quit. Keep going. Kids, think of you at 13. We didn't get it at 13. But by the time she's 23, she will appreciate everything you're doing. So what I'm saying to you is keep doing it.
She has to be sitting in the living room with me while I'm talking to my daughter. She got to be sitting there. That fly on the wall, got it now. Because that's the thing. I tell her, am I not good enough to tell you how beautiful you are? Am I not? The clothes that you got on right now look amazing. Just because they don't have everything that you got going on. But this is some of the things I explained to her. A child that she may be sitting right next to don't even know where the next meal is coming from. They're actually in school to maybe eat lunch, maybe eat breakfast. They don't know. When you go home, I remember looking I said this the last time I was here. I remember looking in my refrigerator when I was younger and I can see the light bulb. When I got old enough to be able to buy all my groceries on my own, I opened up the refrigerator, sat in the chair, cried because I could not see the light bulb. My refrigerator was so full that I couldn't see the light bulb. Now, these kids can't, if they can go back and see that light bulb, it'll be a whole nother story. But they can't. So I tell her, don't do the things that you have on. Because honestly, there's a lot of people who didn't really look good until they land in the casket. They never had them clothes. They didn't look that good. And now they land there, they look amazing. But that's the last thing that they'll ever wear. Be more than, just like you said, be more than what you think you're worth. Be more. Because if you don't, somebody's going to go out there and show you. It's going to be that man who comes and give you, we talk about R. Kelly, come and give you what you think you want, going to get everything they want from you, then they're on to the next one.
And when you have these conversations with her, like when I used to have these conversations with my daughter, I would commend the way that she was able to have that conversation with me. because you have to start pointing out the intellect. You have to start pointing out the way that she articulates. You have to start pointing out the way she carries herself, regardless of what she's wearing. And even on the days she's not wearing what she thinks she should have on, tell her, you know what? You make that outfit look good. You have to get into her head, because that is where it's going to all come down to when she starts dating. She'll know what to listen for because she heard her father.
Yeah,
she'll
when she's
know
33, she can date as much as she wants.
But you're still there.
And there you go. You're right. And then what I feel about her, and I didn't mean to get off subject as much, but what I feel about her is my daughter is more of a visual person. You have to understand, she's more of a visual. When I talk to her, I say, what did I just say? And she can remember what she said. She tell me what she said, what I said. Now I say, tell me something that's going on in school. Oh my goodness. She can ramble off everything. Tell me what I said about 10 minutes ago. She can't. I'm trying to get into her, because once you say it, in about 10 years, it's going to be them things.
But guess what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you because I was a little girl before. Mm-hmm. Everything comes back. There's things that my mother said to me years ago. And then guess what? It's there. Even with my daughter will say something. My son will say something that my mother had told them that she probably think that they wasn't paying her a bit of attention. When you are in those situations, you revert back to memory. Okay, I remember them saying this and that if this occurs. Okay, well, wait, I remember this. And that's probably why I ain't got time for no games. It's like, I was brought up this way. I've heard that. Just like she was saying, your daughter is going, when she starts to date, she's going to know what to look for. Some people go through different things because they didn't have a male role model in their life. I hung around guys all the time. I have a lot of male cousins. Guess what? I was not going to be that notch on the belt. I wasn't going to be that person. I know I sat there on the porch at East Howe at my aunt's house. Okay, listen to them talk about a whole bunch of different chicks that rolled down the street, walked up and down the street off my cousin's house, and guess who wasn't going to be that person? I wasn't. She thinking all is well. They all comparing notes about this chick and what she doing. I was not going to be that girl. So you learn. You learn. I'm all nasally. You hear me all congested.
But
and you learn and you reflect back. Go ahead.
And you're in a normal place.
Yeah, and so I don't sit on a lot of frustration because for like a lot of the kids that I work around, every single attitude that I may see, it's like I have a little fairy dust for it. I know that attitude.
You know how to see, and that's why you're in the right field.
I already know that attitude. I never thought I would say this. This is horrible to say. I know my mom laughing, but kids always say, because this person has it. Then the mother would say, well, if they jumped off a bridge,
would you go jump off a bridge?
I'm on favorite side. I tried to figure out another way to say it, but I just could not come up with nothing else.
That's universal. Everybody heard it. They jump off a bridge. You gonna jump off a bridge? Well, no. Well, that's not gonna work. Or you gonna be like that dude that tried to jump off a bridge and he ain't died, poor thing.
Yeah.
Now we know what happened. Paralyzed. Up here, get your life.
And remember, adolescence is that point in
time don't work.
Where you're trying to belong. You want to be a part of something. You want to be accepted. It happens throughout life. But when we are transitioning from childhood to adulthood, that is like the most uncertain time for us. We're too old for this. We're too young for that. You know, some of the friends get to go out to all the popular places. Some people get their own cars. Some people get their parents' cars. So you're trying to fight for your worth and your relevance. So shout out to my daughter who, when at the age of 19 in college, called me up on the phone one day and said, I didn't like it when you did it, but thank you for raising me the way you did.
Awesome! Hey!
She got it. I said, I didn't think you would get it so soon.
But she got it.
So you're, just keep on. No. She's getting it. It's in there.
All right, let's hurry up because I'm looking at the time. We got to keep on going, staying on task. All right. It was a model that need her... It was a model. They called her Miss Miami. And they call her a model, Instagram model. Anybody can be a model these days. Anyway, she got a 60-inch butt installed. And it may need to be amputated after illegal injections. Speaking of young girls, and they looking at the image and what's out and what we going to do. 60 inches of booty.
It looks horrible. She says now she's tired of people walking up to her and taking pictures and following her. That's what you obviously wanted in the first place as to why you got them 60 inches of booty. Now, all them illegal injections. That's what you wanted in the first place. Now you tired of it?
My Strange Addiction. That's a TV show. I watched it, and there
Yeah, she was on Botch too, so now she
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. That
So
was
now
good.
you
It
gotta
looks bad too.
like, come on now. All for attention. All for
validation.
hey, you heard him having to go to
Hey.
Europe. All right, let's move on. George Zimmerman, y'all know that he is
Oh my
suing
goodness.
Trayvon Martin's family for $100 million for defamation and malicious prosecution. Like,
You, sir, need to be the one to jump off a bridge and land on the train track while the train is coming. Thank you. Next.
No.
we're like,
Yeah. Well, you.
The opinions expressed on the no.
Express on ShopTalk. Well, it's not the reflection of this, that. Go ahead.
I can't really. There's really not much of a comment. The only thing that I can say is the man still trying to stay relevant.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people
His
say.
life is
Trying to be
over.
relevant.
He's just trying to be relevant. I mean,
But you know what I'm
there
gonna
you
say? Have you noticed that a lot of people that get off, that are guilty, they keep going to jail?
That's just like my guy said who left. They got it wrong the first time. That's all it is. That's all it was. They got it wrong the first time. Yes, he did what he did, and he was guilty of it. Then he went out and ran a red light.
And now they
got 100
like, here
years
you
in
go.
jail.
Right, maybe we shouldn't have done it. Like, come on.
You get life. For
Right,
life.
life in jail for running the lights. All right, let's get started on these hot topics real quick. Here's the Shop Talk question of the week: can you be friends with your ex's man or woman?
Yes.
Can you be friends with your man's or woman's ex? Did I say it right?
Can
you be friends with your current?
With my wife's
Yes.
ex-boy? Man, no.
Why?
For what?
Okay, go ahead.
No.
The current boyfriend?
Okay, so your
or
current
ex.
husband, can you be friends with his ex?
Thank you.
No? Really?
Right. Even the ding understands.
You heard that a lot. Go ahead.
I mean, maybe circumstance. You know me, I have to always go down to, depending on what the circumstances are. But is it possible? Is it feasible? Yeah.
What if you didn't even know the person and you met them through that person? Like, I like my wife-in-law.
Okay. I mean, I'm over here with
Nick?
Yes, with Nick. No. No.
But then,
Wait, don't you do this to me. We are against them right now.
It's like we all a team.
my
We
first
got the
husband,
wafers and the Oreos
Yeah.
together now.
my oldest stepson from my first marriage.
Uh-huh.
I'm cool with his mother now.
You work
But
with
back
together?
then, nah. Her and her sister tried to jump me.
Oh my God, that's a lot. It's always
Her
something
sister was
extra.
pregnant. Listen, I'm fighting both of them in the middle of the street. Boop, boop, boop.
But now y'all cool?
But now we're cool, even with the twin sister.
Okay,
and she
but
has
listen to the
apologized.
question. That's not the question.
Okay,
Can
but
you
I-
be
so I was
friends?
just like-
Can you be friends with your man's ex? Not his family, his sister, and his mother.
Well, she was the ex.
Oh, she was an ex, and then y'all fought. Now y'all cool? Okay, go ahead. No, he still
said
no.
I
no.
love it.
Part of no.
I
Don't
love it.
you
Every
get-
time we get in this situation, it's like, I already
You
said
said
no.
I will not waver.
No, I don't, and I don't care if I didn't know you. If I didn't know you, no, you're not coming over and shaking my hand. In my mind,
In your mind is what?
all we're doing,
Because you're a guy, because I need to know.
all we're doing, in my mind, all I'm doing is comparing notes. I'm
I
looking
was
this
thinking that's
man.
what you
Are you?
I'm
Yeah.
looking at him straight up and down. Now, I don't have a problem with, and I love my wife because this is why I do it. I don't have a problem with hitting the gym, but let your arms be a half an inch bigger than mine. Or let you come through the door with a nice little tight little body. Then I'm gonna think, oh, she only liked me because I remind her of him.
That brings us to the show. Okay.
So no, but
Okay, wait. Stay right there because I
I'm
need
gonna
to
be
do this
right
part.
here.
Yeah, you start to do that. Be right there. Second time around, you get remarried, and your maid of honor or your best man is usually like your best friend. They start the toast with, "Welcome back, everybody." How do you feel?
Well, hey,
What would you do?
I can answer that one. Cause I'm all the way real. this is my second time around.
So what would you do if
And
they
I'm
said,
happy.
"Welcome back, everybody"?
Huh?
I know. I would be cracking up.
And I'm a be like, yeah, that was a good one.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I would crack up.
That was a good one.
Prime example, third time around.
Yeah.
I would crack up.
You got
I would crack up. And see, the person that would most likely say it would be my brother.
A sort of cookies. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
It'll be my brother.
See, I would laugh, and usually like your best man or your maid of honor is usually like your best friend, so you know him any old way, and they know your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, when I had posted it, there were some people that felt like, not at all, not. Why? And usually the person that you married to, clearly they know your personality too, and they were like, oh yeah, you done did this again. This is, look, 50-50. Half the people that have been at your last one have not. Now, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I might have like 3/4 of people because I'm cool with his people too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they'd be like, hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, they'd be like, welcome, we back.
But then I got to
Knowing that's probably what the guests would be like, hey, yeah, we back, we here.
I would have to probably.
What a new line dance.
I would probably look over at my
Current spouse.
my current very special situation I got right now, and wonder how she would feel. How it would feel going. How she would take it. Because what if I was the second, and somebody stood up and be like, well, hope you get it right this time. Now
that's rude.
I'm wondering but you get my brother.
Go ahead and
So,
we got.
So I'm wondering, how she would actually feel.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would be a little different. I was at a wedding. This was his second marriage. His best man said a toast. I was there because I knew the girl he was marrying, right? He called her the ex-wife's name.
Now, see,
Let me tell you. And I don't know him. I know her.
Ooh.
And I'm like, that is not her name.
You didn't catch it?
Oh no, the husband caught it.
I mean, but the guy who said it.
Yes, he did. He caught it and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
Listen, everybody there like, wait, that's not her name. And the other people, the welcome backers,
Mm-hmm.
they knew who it was, and that was the ex-wife's name. Yeah, that was different.
All right. Remember, all best man. This is a public
Don't
service
be drunk
announcement.
prior to.
Don't drink before you make the toast.
Right.
Just
because
get
you
some
won't
water.
be friends
Nah.
no more.
Right. Just drink a little bit of water after you do it correctly. Then
Then
go
go
to
and
the
get lit.
bar. Yeah. So.
All right, so we're going to talk emotions versus pride. Now, you were talking about, I asked if you could be friends with your current ex. Emotion versus pride. And the reason I chose this one, and you're a guy, like I said, Rugel's not here, so you own your own. Can you carry it? Yes, I think you can.
I'm good.
Emotions versus pride. Second time around. You said that when you look at the guy, you're comparing notes.
That would be me.
Okay, so you're comparing notes. So is it a pride thing?
Nah. It's a male domination type thing. I'm the only dog barking in this little kennel right here. So you were you, that's you. You're you.
Okay, so
good.
we can constantly say over there, we don't like that person, we're not into that person, we're into you. It don't even matter because y'all got your own gig. Like, I don't understand.
If you're not into that person or whatever, and you got whoever you got, then why are we having a conversation about this? Like, period. If this is the second time around, I don't need to be cool with your friends. I mean, I don't need to be cool with your ex-man and his folks. I don't expect you to be cool with my ex-girl and her people.
Okay, why is it that men tend to have, and I'm going to bring this up, they're in competition with somebody that's not even competition with them? Like, I don't understand that. And you have females who, and we'll sit there and we'll be like, okay, well, I'm not interested in that person. I'm interested in you. And you got your own little thing going on. And it's like, why are you upset about what somebody else is giving you or sending your girl versus, and then thinking that they kicking it because somebody is sending your girl something versus, I'm with you. What are you talking about? Nobody expected that. Talk to me.
I don't want you to like nothing nobody else gives you but whatever I give you. I'm sorry. I don't want your mom, your sister, your cousins, your girls. They can give you anything that they want. Christmas, they can give you a Christmas gift. They can give you a birthday gift. They can give you anything they want to. But I would say hypothetically speaking, but I'm gonna say it like this: let my wife's ex-dude send her something for Christmas, and they say, well, it's tradition. They always do that. Send her something for her birthday, Valentine's Day. Hey, hump day.
Well, Valentine's Day is different.
Don't-
Hump day
don't-
on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Don't really matter. I don't want nothing coming from no outside source to my woman, regardless. of
Okay,
what
now
it
you
is.
said your wife. Now, what about if it's a fresh relationship?
Soon as you say,
How do you-
As soon as you come in the door and we kicking it, it's us. We are. I'm sorry, the men out here play husband and wife, but it is us. We are the husband when we feel threatened. When we feel threatened, if we could be the boyfriend as long as we don't feel threatened. Sorry, nope, I'm not sorry, fellas. Holler at me. If a man wants his woman to only know that he wants her, that he wants her, she wants him. That we don't want that. We don't want nothing
Well,
else.
when are you going to voice that to the woman? Because she may not understand. She might not know. She don't know what's going on in your mind.
Right off, I'm coming right off.
Sure,
that.
right. Be like, okay.
Listen, if I'm gonna be this man.
Come
this is
on
the
with
thing.
it.
I'm gonna be down with you, all the way down with you, or I'm gonna get from around you.
Okay, but how do we know? How are we supposed to know what you're thinking?
I'ma tell
like
you-
if you
I'ma-
have a problem, okay, let's say I had a situation. Where somebody sent me something, okay?
Okay.
And granted, dating somebody else, somebody send me something, and I'm not thinking anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new relationship.
Right.
How can you get upset if you never said, hey, I feel you that stuff was never voiced? How do you know? And then you're upset with me because why? It was never stipulated. Like, tell me, okay, we in this, we together. He decided to send me something. Okay, and I'm not thinking I don't know where you are. Now, if you married, totally different. If you proposed and I'm engaged, totally different. But if you sit there and you trying to figure each other out, okay, this is the way it's supposed to go. We as females, we're not thinking anything. Why should I sit there, even though I don't like that person, I'm done with that person, and they send stuff? What do you expect me to do? Like, we had that conversation off air where you were like, that was the time where you should have called and let them know. But how do you know where that person is? Is that, you know what I mean? That it's a new relationship. You don't even know where it's going to go.
There you go. Females are open-minded, very open-minded. Males are narrow-minded.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
But if you addressed it like you said off top, be like, listen, if I feel threatened, like you said, if I feel threatened, I'm the husband.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't proposed, so she has no idea where you are.
As a man, if I was,
Or you say, okay, well, I'm gonna marry you. Yeah, okay.
If I was the, wait a minute, I'm gonna go to that because
Okay.
you said If I was the ex dude, I know exactly what you like. You know, flowers. Women love flowers. I know that you, as the ex dude, I know the women you love flowers. I'm the
Okay.
ex guy. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I don't know about the new dude. I don't know nothing about what's going on, but I know that you like flowers. So, for your birthday, I might shoot it to you. I might shoot you some flowers. Nope. I might,
Right, not right now. Go ahead.
I might send you those flowers. All right. As the new dude, so I'm gonna jump out of the old guy's shoes and jump into the new dude's shoes. He didn't know that the old guy loves to send you flowers every time on your birthday, Christmas, or whatever. He doesn't know that. As the new guy, before I find out some other way that you got this gift, because it's not like you picked it up and said, I don't like this and threw it away. Before I find out some other way that you got this gift, I would love to get a heads up. Hey, it's my birthday. I received something. I'm letting you know what I have. That's just me. Because if I find out any other way, then I'm going to be like, why did I find out on what y'all do, Facebook? Or why did I find out through a friend that somebody did something for you? You could have just easily told me. That's me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just
Okay,
me.
so ladies, what's your thoughts on that? New guy? Okay, you hold on. Go ahead. Do you feel like if you in a fresh relationship, for the sake of the conversation, you're in a fresh relationship, do you feel like you need to tell your new person that you received these flowers if it just didn't, just voluntarily get that information unless it just come up? Do you feel that way? It's quiet. Go ahead. We come back. Go ahead.
I'm going to say I'm going to have to agree with you, because there's two things happening here. And you said it. I love talking to you because you just put it out there. Worth and security. You have to have a comfortable sense of worth and security. So if somebody is doing something for your mate and you find out on Facebook, your worth and security have been attacked, because why didn't we have this conversation? You're trusting that communication is open. You're trusting that you're doing what you need to do. And at the moment that somebody else does something for her and you find out the way you found out, you are feeling like, okay, we're not on the same page here. The whole relationship goes wrong. There are some people who feel that as long as it's me and you, keep the past in the past, leave it there. Let's not leave any door open, no opportunity for any drama to come in. There are just some people who feel that way. So I guess you have to understand where the relationship is in order to clearly answer your question. If you've just gone on a few dates,
Yes, I can.
and you get flowers, then no, you don't have to tell them.
Absolutely.
But if you are in a situation where you are trying to advance a relationship that is established in worth, gratification, and security, then the conversation needs to happen.
Go ahead, loud to the audience.
That just sounds, I understand what you're talking about in a secured, long-term relationship, but the term that I keep hearing is new guy. So if you're the new guy, for you to even want me to report to you is a sign of control.
But I just said that.
Yeah,
Where
and that
are
only
you
gets
at in
worse.
the process? If
Yeah,
you've
that
just
only
gone
gets
on a
worse.
few dates,
Then right.
Yeah.
And so
Wait a minute.
when the key word there is the new guy. To be able to just tell a person something in a conversation, that's one thing. But to feel like you have to report, that's totally different, because that turns from love to control. That keeps that relationship from even going anywhere but to a place of control. Because I don't think that an individual has to owe anybody and feel like that every little thing that I have to report, otherwise you'll have issues with that. Those are early signs of a controlling individual when they have issues like that versus a loving individual. Because love says, oh, I get that. I understand that, because we're just getting to know each other. I haven't, we don't have a solidified relationship. We're just getting to know each other. I'm not your fiance. I'm not your husband. You are single and I am single.
Right.
Got that. If we are just exclusively dating one another, that's all we're doing is dating. But for you to feel as though I need to report to you, that says control. And that is a red flag.
that's true. I agree with that.
Because
100%.
she's not going to be able to look out the window when you get married.
I mean,
Be a
yeah,
silhouette.
I agree with that 100%. But new guy can be new guys 5 steps ahead in the relationship. I mean, new guy is different than the guy before. So I'm not looking at the term new guy. I'm looking at where are you at in the relationship. So if the new guy and you are now advancing to a place where, you know, we're going to get a little bit more serious and things are going to happen, is your ex your friend or is your ex-boyfriend?
Okay.
I mean, you understand.
Okay, now let's go with what Mike said. Mike said the ex don't even know nothing about the new. Okay? The ex have no idea. And the new is thinking that maybe something else is going on. And it's like, how do you do that? And like the live studio audience said, it's new. It's the new guy.
But my question is, how new is new?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
what's-
Let's say
what's
3
the
months.
new guy?
Let's say 3
Okay,
months.
well, you know what? So that means the new guy has made it past the 90-day rule. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
3
So
months in a day.
He made it past the 91-day rule.
get
all right?
benefits now.
Now, just like the studio audience was saying, on our very first date, we go out on, your phone ring, and I say, who is that?
Oh, heck no.
Okay, die. And you say, that was my mom. Oh, okay.
Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Hold on.
'Cause-
I'm just
okay,
go
go ahead.
Right,
So
right, I
then we
understand where you're going.
we go to dinner. And we about to have our food. Your phone go off again. I'm like, oh, that must be your mom. I'm like, nah, that was my brother. Now, my phone rings. You don't say a word. You don't say nothing. All right? That's that. Something happens again, and I question it again. All right, that's controlling. I can understand that. There is the line of control, especially if you answer me. That was my mom. That was my cousin. Now that's controlling. Because now
right.
I can ask you in 2 days this and this and that and that. But if we are 90 days in, we didn't have some deep conversations.
Okay.
We didn't have this conversation. If a ex sends you, I don't know why I keep saying flowers. If an ex sends you flowers on your birthday, this was not the first time your ex has ever sent you flowers on your birthday. Last year you got flowers on your birthday. The year before that you got
And you were
flowers on
probably
your
with
birthday.
the ex.
And let's just say you weren't with them for 2 years, and then they're gonna continue to do it. Now, within that 90 days, we're sitting down having really decent conversations. Birthdays do come up. They come up. Well, usually on my birthday, it'll be something just like a whim. Usually on my birthday, for some odd reason, my ex sends me a bouquet of flowers.
But now here's the thing. Why should a female have to just say that?
No, I'm just saying it may come up in casual conversation. It could come up.
It could come up.
Once again.
And then you in your feelings.
Right. So, because I show up, I find out like this. I show up to take you out to eat.
Okay.
And I come in the house, you're getting ready, because women are always late. I said it. You're getting ready. On your mantle is the most beautiful bouquet of flowers.
Okay.
And I'd be like, in my heart, I'm going to say, man, your mom is always doing something nice for you. And you like,
you fishing though.
nah.
You fishing.
Right, absolutely. Nah. Well, you're like, oh, no, my mom didn't give me those. Okay, we could take a ride to Buck-Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to have in my mind, if it was not me, who gave these to her? All right, you don't tell me who actually done it. So then the following day, I'm going through Facebook or something like that, but I don't. And I find out who did give them to you.
Okay.
But I left the opportunity open because I assumed mommy gave them to you. No, she didn't.
See, and my thoughts are, if you got a problem with them, then you send me some.
But then again, here lies that. Most men, here's the funny part about it. You get one bouquet of roses, and most men who just got to be one leg up gonna send you two. I am not. I'll give you one a day for 12 days. I certainly will. Because I'm going to show you that I'm what is it, frugal. Here you go. And I might write a note or something like that. But I don't know what it is. It's just that if we're in there, we're in there. You know, and we just don't want nobody, we don't want you to, maybe it's me, I don't want you to smile. I want you to smile, but I want you to smile at the things I do.
Okay, so you don't want her to smile at what somebody else making her smile.
Especially
now here, and see here and I'm not a guy. That's why I'm like, tell me what's going on. Emotions versus pride. So is it like if you really love the person and you into the person and you're like, okay, well I just need to remove myself. Is it because of pride? Because you don't want to like, come on.
Well, when I say those words, you know, some people throw love around like it's nothing. But when I say it, and this is here's the pride thing and here's the emotion thing. This is my sister right here. I'm gonna go to her and be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna tell Mel I love her tomorrow. I think, what you think she gonna say? What you think? And then she might be like, well, she might say this. Yeah. We always go to that person first. So then she gonna ask the question. What if she doesn't say it back? I'm like, well, I know where I'm at.
Okay.
So then I go to you. So I never told you I love you first. I told my sister first.
Or your homeboy.
Yeah, or my boy, or my brother. You know, because you know your boys will tell you, man, don't do that, man. Nah.
Oh, yeah,
nah,
you know,
dude,
the men stick together
don't do that. Don't do that. Or, you know, these are the things. You said something in a little bit ago. I don't want to jump ahead. But you said, oh, I want to marry you. Somebody said, oh, I want to marry you. And
y'all be saying, y'all be like, oh, okay, well, I want to marry you. And then we be like, yeah, okay. Because you hear it.
All the time.
See what I'm saying? So you can't, some people when they say, okay, well, I want to marry you, you're not looking at it as for real, like this person want to marry me. You've heard it. So it's all about experiences.
And perception.
And perception.
So,
and see, wait. And you said something about like the phone. I am that person. If somebody's phone ring, perception and experience, I don't ask me who's calling me. I'm not gonna ask you who's calling you.
Don't even touch
but wait a minute. But that's how I am. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say anything. And you were saying like, and then my phone rings, and then you don't ask who's that on the phone. That's not in my nature. And you said it too today. You like, what did you say? Something about, you've been around boys all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I guarantee. But women have what you call, my mom told me, women have a sixth sense.
I turn my phone off. If I'm with somebody and I'm dating somebody.
My husband leaves his in the car.
But now that's a little different.
I put my phone on the table.
When we go out.
I do not touch my wife's phone even when she say bring it to me.
But here's the thing now. Here's the thing. This is, say, a new relationship.
How new?
3 months. I gave y'all time. 3 months, 90 days. Okay. Let's just say 3 months. You're in a new relationship. If I'm even getting to know you, if it's a week, 2 weeks, and we just dating like that, my attention is on you. So I'm going to power my phone off because I need to hear everything you say, everything that you don't say. And guess what? What's important is you. I don't need any other distractions, okay? So I'm going to turn my phone off. So here's this one guy, never forget this. This was hilarious. He says to me, he got his phone off too, right? Different reason, which I guess probably for other people that don't call, and then you won't have any thoughts or doubts like, okay, wait a minute, somebody else is calling.
No comment.
And then you say, hey, you got your phone off. Yeah.
Because if you got your phone off the same reason why I got my phone off, then who is he?
But here's the thing. So who is she?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have, listen, and no lie, this is hilarious though. I didn't know that I was somebody else in their phone. So I'm looking, they give me their little phone, boom, and I look through here, and I'm thinking, why you? I'm like, well, why in the world are you sending pictures of me to Bradley? Right? And I'm like, who is Bradley?
Okay.
Right. Listen, don't say that. Look. So wait, I had no idea. I said, oh, wait a minute. I thought it was funny. I said, oh, wait, I'm Bradley. And I thought it was hilarious. So now we got to open, that's funny to me.
Got it.
So we cool. So I was like, oh, cool. Let me show you who you are in the phone. You ain't even your name in the phone. So this is my phone. Now you got a problem, sir.
Yes, sir do.
Why? When you did it, why?
What? See?
I think that's
Control. And
You
that,
think?
listen, and that 90-day rule is because the real individual is showing up now. So when people change within 90 days, now you are about to see the real person because you've been dating the representative. And they're tired of pretending and putting their best foot forward. Now they're a little more relaxed, and now you're getting ready to see the other person. And you're absolutely correct. You want to listen to what they're saying, but you also want to hear what they are not saying. And that comes in the actions or the lack thereof.
And see, I didn't get offended by my name when I found out. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't get offended by that because, here again, it was new. It was new. So you'd have your reasons, and my reasons for putting your name in there is not for some other guy. My reason is for some other person that's nosy, and when my phone be just down and then you see the name, I don't need them to know who I'm talking to.
Okay, so first of all, let me say the studio audience is 100% correct. But I get, and even with the time frame, but it's funny because I'm doing the buyer cycle in my brain as we're having this conversation.
Okay.
So the new guy, when you're first hooking up, that's the awareness phase. Okay, you got a thing for me, I got a thing for you, I see you there. Now you want to ask me out, we're going to hang, we're interested. So when we're in that interested phase, that's when you're going out, you know, the phone is ringing or the phone is off and you know the flowers are coming. And then you say, but I think I really want to hook up with this person. That's your desire phase. Now you are in desire mode. At some point in time, it's not so much that the flowers came and the new person didn't know it as much as now. If we're in desire mode, you got to check the person who sent you the flowers.
Okay.
Because if the flowers are coming as a friendship, okay, we're friends, we're cool, but I just need to let you know, I'm moving on. This is, we were cool, it was good while it lasted, but I'm in desire mode.
And
So
you
that
don't
we
even
can
know that they're coming though, because usually flowers.
And that's
don't
fine,
know.
and that's fine. You don't have to know.
Okay.
You don't have to know that they're coming, but let's go to whether or not those flowers came as a friend, or I want to be more than friends, or I want to go back. Sometimes we can't go right now we're so external. If you know what's happening and you know what you want to happen, you handle it.
And see here's my thought process. And you're right. You are 100% right. But it's not even but. You're 100% right. Period. If it's up to us to draw that line. It's up to us to move forward. Is it going to be? But you have to believe and trust what the other person is saying to you.
Based on what? It's
based
new.
on what you're
it's
saying.
New. Why should I trust you? It's new.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. And I figure especially when it's new, you're going to be the most honest.
Bam.
That's
representative.
Me. But see, me, I'm being direct. This this is how I am. Can you deal with it or not? I ain't got time to be wasting my time.
That's
I
you.
am 46 years old,
That's you.
and
That's
this is me.
That's
And
you.
hopefully
No.
when you grown and old, this is what it's gonna be. Are we gonna work out? Are we gonna be friends? Let's not ruin the friendship because this is how I am. Are you willing to put up with my mess? I always say it too. Even when you marry somebody or being with somebody, what you are saying is, yes, I love you, but am I able to put up with your mess? That's in a nutshell when you're dealing with relationships. It's like, am I able to put up with your mess? What you giving? Am I able to deal with that for the rest of my life? Because everybody got their little stuff.
So I'll weigh in. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I got it. But that's you.
That's you.
That's you. That's the way you feel.
My experience, my perception,
You're right.
and I'm not that
But-
person.
But
Okay.
now, I'm going to see it in a different way. I'm going to see it in a different way, especially if you.
Is it for desire?
If it could, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
If you express something that made you happy, and I did, I'm stick with that. You express something that made you happy, and it wasn't me who did it. Yes, I'm going to feel some type of way. You can call it small, you can call it petty, or you can call it whatever. But if you are excited about something, especially on something as important as maybe a holiday or a birthday, and I am not the one, and I'm the new guy, this is all new. I'm giddy when I see you. I still get butterflies when I see you. I show up at your crib. I smell amazing. This is me. I come in your house.
Smell is something.
I come in your house or whatever, and I see this presentation sitting in front of me, and I know I didn't do it. So in my heart, I'm gonna say, Mom's gave you a very beautiful bouquet of flowers. You say she sure did.
Well, why would you express that? Would you say that there? Because maybe she don't know that there's an issue.
Listen, and you
Because
say
that's just flowers to her, not for who it's from.
they're flowers. You say, yeah, my mom's giving me some every year. Whew.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna move on with the rest of the day. But if it came from some other male, somebody, that used to be in your life, that knows what you like, because I'm trying to get to know what you like.
Okay.
He already knows what you like. He already got a leg
You
up.
said like 2 years. Okay.
He already got that. And I'm trying to get to know what you like. You know? Then you come to the car, hypothetically speaking, and another bouquet of flowers are sitting right there. I never even showed up. I wanted to give them to you as we was walking. But you already got what I thought was the new thing I was going to start with you. That's something that's my perception. I feel that.
I mean, and that's good.
I want you to be happy. I want you to enjoy the things that you have. But I just want to be the one who if this is something that we're going to start, I want to start it with you. And if we don't last forever, then I know this is something that we started. But if it's
okay, so you don't know, so you're learning each other.
Exactly. And I would just want to. I don't want to control you, but I want to feel as
Special.
comfortable. Yeah, special and as comfortable with you for the duration of the day, than to feel some type of way in a way. Especially if I found out some other way.
Okay, so she apologizes to you
For what?
for hurting your feelings.
But she didn't. You didn't send yourself the flowers. What are you apologizing for? That's where the mixed signal comes in.
Okay.
Because you didn't do anything wrong. At the moment that you apologize for something, you are admitting that you participated in the offense.
Okay.
That is where the discussion comes in about where we are right now. If he says something to you, then okay,
But
to me, I'm seeing you're insecure. I'm not even going to call you a control freak right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're being insecure because you're seeing in your head what you want with her. For you to even get that way about it, you are already in a mental or emotional place where you see her as somebody you can move forward with. Because at this age, we're not just dating to play.
No.
So if you're hanging out with somebody and you see that, that means to me, you're feeling some kind of way about
That's
her.
right.
So now if she sees that it's affecting you, okay, let's have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because maybe we're not on the same page. Or maybe we're not on the same page yet. So it's not the time to apologize. It is time to clarify what the real issue is.
Okay.
You be spending the rest of your days apologizing
Yeah.
for somebody else's emotions.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, you don't have to-
Because where there is
So
You don't gotta say
you
don't.
wouldn't apologize for if that made you feel a certain type of way.
Apologize for what?
Well,
Exactly.
I'm with you on I'm with you on that, but for the sake of the conversation, look.
We get to that point. where-
Okay, but
where you get
I'm
to where
asking you as a man.
Uh-huh.
So she sits there and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know," and you express how you feel about it, and she said, "Well, I apologize if you felt a certain way about the flowers because I never intended to deliberately hurt you.
Okay.
Now what?
All right. We going all the way past, and I see her shaking her head, but I agree with her shaking her
Go
head.
go ahead.
We're going all the way past. This is how a snowball turns into a boulder.
Okay.
This is how. We
Go ahead.
could have stopped it from, we could have got there from the beginning. From the beginning. From the beginning.
Okay.
Hey, I found out a different way that something like this has happened. I want to be the person who does things for you. I'm feeling you. I'm in there.
So the apology
But at
is
that point, you're just letting her know how you're feeling about her. She didn't know that.
right. So that's what the apology is after
there
you found
is
out.
no
Okay, go ahead.
You
Go
did
ahead.
not do anything to apologize for.
Go ahead.
You
keep
could
going.
say, I'm sorry that you feel that way, or it's unfortunate that you feel that way, but let's clarify where we go from here because I don't want this to be an issue. I don't want us to have these trust issues. I don't want us to not be able to communicate. I want us to be on the same page. At that point, I do understand how you feel. I'm feeling you too. Let's talk about this so that we can move this forward together. However, if it's one of those where, because she'll know by the way you brought it up, whether it's a security or a control, and she'll know by other conversations you've had. This won't be the first time she's seen the control freak in you.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, Nick, the voice of the community. What people say?
Gennaro said, "Tell me your past, and I pray to do the same for our future."
That's nice. Okay. Shout out, Janelle.
Okay.
You got somebody on your team?
Here we go. But this is the thing, and I don't want to be, because I'm nowhere near insecure. But I knew at the point in time my wife would say she said no you did. I knew when people say this is just funny or whatever. I knew when I first met her I was gonna marry her. I knew it. I just looked at it. I knew it. It was something that I knew. And then once I got into that mode, I was already there. So I'm in that mode.
And she had no.
I'm
Okay, but
already
wait a
there.
minute. But she didn't know. So she didn't know that you were already
I told her that.
Okay.
I told her that. I told her. I said we're going to go bowling. We're going to get something to eat. Then we're getting married. She laughed just like that. But I told her. So now, and I also, what I did was I also asked her, how are you feeling? Because you're right. You might not be where I'm at right now. You might not be here. You might not be there or whatever. She gave me the way that she felt. I gave her the way that I felt. The whole turning the phones off and all that stuff. I knew. I'm telling my sister or my boys, listen, this one, I'm in there. I am practicing to be in there. I'm shutting everything down before such and such. Now, if it doesn't work, that was my own leap. I did that. That was my own leap. If she would have came, and you just get that feeling. Now, if she would have completely hit me with the representation of somebody else. I had to call her, where your phone at? Let me see your phone. Who is that calling you? And all that stuff. I'd have been like, whoopsie, made a mistake. All right, and then I can fall back. But just sometimes you just know. And as a man, we know. I don't have a problem with knowing.
Okay, so your wife. So you knew when you first seen her, this is my wife, you sat there, talked to everybody, boom, boom, boom. And then your wife get flowers for, let's say, like you brought it up, her birthday from somebody else. Do you change how you feel about your wife now? But let's say, do you change and say, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't marry her because she's getting flowers from somebody else?
Now, if we're 90 days in, I would hope, and this is just me and her, if we're 90 days in, and I know for a fact that I didn't do that. If we're 90 days
but somebody a blast from the past, just send her some flowers.
Sent that or whatever. If I find out by scrolling through her scrolling through Facebook and I see that that's there, or even I find out some other way.
What if she tells you?
Cool.
That's right.
Y'all see each other, and you haven't seen that person, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Oh yeah," and then she just happened to just tell you because y'all have an open conversation.
If she comes out
and
and
she tells you,
how is she telling me? How am I finding out?
I don't know, like just in basic conversation, it was like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da," and it's no biggie to her. But she's the one who actually told you.
No, okay. Now let's just say I found out like this. She comes over my house. I have an attitude because my 49ers has just lost the game on Sunday. That's my attitude.
Okay.
So I'm walking through the house and I'm like, man.
She might not want to say nothing about no flowers in.
So I'm walking through the house and I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. I can't believe. I mean, it's like it happens all the time. And she say, oh, don't tell me you're mad about the flowers that I posted on Facebook.
That's a little.
What?
Well,
Wait a
that's
minute.
terrible timing. But
Whoa.
go ahead.
What flowers? What flowers did you put? What are you talking about? I was talking about the game. Now we're into a whole nother thing. Well, I didn't know they were coming, but my ex, we're all over the place right now. If I'm going to find out like that, instead of it's Sunday morning, I'm coming to get you. You know, I'm wishing you happy birthday. How was your birthday so far? And you'd be like, you know what? I got some unexpected
See,
flowers.
now that's different.
From an
so,
ex.
see how that's different? How was your birthday? You know, like who? I don't know.
Most men will wish a woman happy birthday the night before.
Right.
Most men will wish
So
a
you
woman
don't
happy
see the
birthday
person-
at 12 o'clock
Okay,
at night. They
right.
want to be the first to do
Right.
that.
So if you get your happy birthday prior to, we got 4%. If you get your happy birthday prior to, and then you're gonna see the person, you ain't gonna call the person and just be like, hey, guess what? I got da. When those happen to just come in the air. Some come in the air. Come just fall out the air because that's what happens. You know what I mean? They just come. You're not expecting that unless it just happens to come up. But that's just me. So I just want to. I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I want the people to listen in the audience to be able to understand emotions versus pride. So is it a pride thing? While is it? Are you reacting out of emotions and that's why you can't handle it?
If I'm
or is it a
emotionally-
pride thing to say, okay, well, and then will nobody even know about how you feeling if you didn't share it?
If I'm emotionally involved with you,
Okay.
yeah, maybe my pride is gonna show up because I'm in there. So yeah, my pride may show up because I do want to be the first to give you what I know that you like.
Okay.
And I know within that 90-day conversation, 91-day conversation.
So with
that
your wife,
came up.
and I'm gonna ask this question. So with your wife, y'all, before you guys get married, we just sake of conversation, are you gonna allow your pride to take over, or are you gonna sit there and say, okay, that was one thing, and then we'll move forward, or are you just like, okay, I'm done?
Like I was.
Go ahead.
Oh, you
I heard the
answer that
side. Go ahead, wrap it up.
Because you're thinking like a woman. He's talking like a man.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying one way or the other. We're talking about perception.
Fellas, hurry up and let us know, pride or emotion.
Yeah, pride, but pride is an emotion.
It is an emotion.
Pride is a feeling that you get.
Right.
Pride
Do you
is an
think that
emotion.
messed up his pride though?
It threatened his
and
sense
he's
of security.
It threatened
and
me.
his
He's the only person
position
that
with you.
knows.
It threatened me. I'm sorry.
But why? Okay, so that
It's
threatened
an
you.
insecurity. It's an insecurity issue, which could be a form of pride.
Right.
So even if it wasn't an ex, or you get it from somebody else, or let's say I get it from a fan. Let's say if I get flowers from a fan or something like that, is that going to be an ongoing thing, like the live studio audience said? And you just getting this, and if you have a problem with this, and you're not with that person or the ex,
You get anything from the person who knew what you like. It's a problem with
It's
you.
not. It's not about a fan. It's about somebody who
about
had intimate knowledge
right.
of you.
Know what you like. Know exactly what you like. If my wife loves pearls and I can't afford pearls, we're just gonna go to Pearl Harbor. We're just gonna go there because if some pearls show up in the mail and I know I had nothing to do with that, and she's like, you know,
it ain't no biggie to her. Okay, go ahead. I like that.
That's just from my ex. I'm trying. You will lose your ears before you
Okay,
put those in there.
Okay, so here's the deal. So if she did not say it was from her ex, then what is it?
Enjoy your pearls.
Fan gave you some pearls. Okay, we good.
Enjoy
Okay.
your pearls.
It
Well,
won't stop there. It won't stop there. It depends on the individual.
And that's
like I said,
100%
when you
true.
listen to what they say and what they're not saying, and from his perspective, he's talking about his wife. And that is, with men, they go into possession. That is my doll now. And I own it. And so that's where that whole thing comes with, don't touch it, don't open the door for it. But then when it is directed that, like you said, as far as the apology, she didn't do anything wrong. But that man just opened the door for me when I walked up to the door. And I thought that was a great thing. No, he shouldn't have opened it for you. Matter of fact, you should have stood there and waited for them to close it. It gets worse.
So
that possession is in control of
But
something.
now we're talking about character and personality trait. We have jumped from one incident to a whole character, which is what I said earlier. That person would know before those flowers came the type of person she's dealing with.
Well, sometimes it takes the flowers to show you.
To show
Because
you
if
what.
you- if you-
If they're controlling or
Right.
if they're trying to figure out what it fit. We are assuming that because he reacted to it, he's a control freak. But it could be that they're just not in the same place in the relationship because we don't know that if somebody sent him something, he wouldn't have told her. We don't know. you can't take one isolated incident and define a whole person's character. But it seems to me that for it to be a topic of conversation, you have been deeply enough involved with this person on any level to have seen it before that happened.
Okay, let's go with this real quick, and then we got to hurry up and go because
We got to go to shop to part 2.
Right. So let's say, for instance, you're upset that she got flowers, but she's not upset that you got panties in the mail.
Oh, see, right there, I'm fighting. You got panties in the mail? No, we fighting.
But wait a minute, it's a new relationship. The person that sent the panties has no idea about the new person. So hurry up and answer that, and then we gonna go ahead and go.
But is it a new person, or you just
3 months in? 3 months in dating.
I don't
We
want
gonna
the
stick with
time
that.
because time doesn't matter. It's the intensity, the level of where you are in that relationship.
But listen to
and
it.
the person did not know about the new person.
Right.
However, if you are in a place, because if you don't know, you don't care what comes in the mail. In order for one person to care, something has already been ignited to make it an issue in the first place.
Okay, I'm gonna share this. Somebody I was dating, never forget this, some panties came in the mail. Now, underwear came in the mail, but here's the deal though. I just don't believe he had no control. The woman is doing what she need to do to try to get the dude, okay? I'm not mad at you. She don't know nothing about me. Why am I upset about some underwear in the mail? Now, if we get married or as a fiance or something and it don't stop, then okay, because that's a one-time thing. Then we have an issue.
Sorry,
So
3 months in the relationship,
Is
that
it
other person needs to know
But you know
that
what
you
I'm saying.
went so
You know
loud.
what I'm saying.
Because when I get with somebody, I'm letting everybody know that I am with this person. So therefore,
3 months in, I ain't letting everybody know, because then I ain't gonna be the one on Facebook talking about in a relationship. It's
If somebody else
complicated out
in
of
3 months,
relationship.
this lady's gonna lose it.
I'm just saying a new relationship. Go ahead, hurry up.
All right. If some underoos come in the mail, okay, they come in the mail.
Panties.
You're right. They come in the mail, and
Okay.
I'm so much different than you, and I'm already there. I'm going to present. Look, all right. My ex, she does this stuff. This is something that she do.
I ain't saying your ex-girlfriend sitting at just
a random chick,
a random person
trying to get
you, and you know who the person is, and there's some panties in a box in the mail.
Okay.
Now
So,
you and your girl sitting there looking at it like, what? What? Because that's how I was. I was like, what?
That's cool. So we found out together. So now we having a conversation right then and there. We found
Listen,
out together.
No.
Package open.
No. You shared that. The package showed up. You shared that information because y'all cool. You be like, I'm like, what?
You just answered your own question then.
Listen, I'm cool.
You just answered.
I don't have a problem with that because guess what? And anybody that know me, I don't want somebody that don't nobody else want. That's just how I roll. Now, so if it's some panties that come in the mail, now if we in long term, we would, like you said, had that conversation, and we see, okay, this is my fiance, and you sending pictures, or you see us out and we together, and everybody know that we together, and you sending some underwear. Now I got a problem.
So if you're exclusively dating, but he has not yet proposed, is it different?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm just in my head. I have to know where we're at in the.
See, I think because
To me, time isn't the issue. It is where you're at. It is what the two of you have communicated about where
we
you
are
in this
together.
relationship.
It has to be solidified like we are together, not just dating. Because dating, listen, dating is just dating. You're like Live Studio Audience said, you are getting to know that individual, and I don't expect that you did not just fall out the sky and say, "Hey, I'm here for you."
So what you apologizing for then? Why do you? So why
No.
did that?
What?
No, why did you?
Oh, you
So
still
why?
stuck on that?
Why? Because it goes back to the same place. If dating is just getting to know somebody, this whole conversation is a moot point. I can get whatever I want. We're just dating.
That's where
Live
I'm at.
Studio Audience, are we on the same page?
Yeah, that's good. And I think that. Well, I'm just trying to be
that
nice.
changes the whole context.
I'm just trying to be nice as far as the apology because you don't want some.
Maybe
Listen,
I
I
didn't know
mean
we were
personally.
just
Yeah,
dating. Maybe
just
I
dating.
didn't. That means I didn't know we were just at this point.
That's
I
right.
thought we was way
So I'll
past
keep
there.
my one rose today.
Yeah. So now, with that being said, if now that I know that we're not where I should be mentally questioning or asking something, if I know that I no need to get up, cool, no problem.
But then what?
You
then
keep
what
your
y'all-
panties you want.
You keep your
Yeah,
roses, I keep my
no,
panties.
no,
That's
but what? But once y'all get there,
No. You can't blend it.
Nope.
Either
You're
you're
there
going there
or
or
you're
you're
not.
not.
listen, see, that's the difference.
It's the darkies back on top. Darkies back on top.
That's funny.
Now we know where we're at. Then
Yeah,
okay.
now we know
we
where
good.
we go.
We good. That was a
No.
deep side.
So then once y'all find out that y'all on the same page, then it's like, okay, all that stuff needs to stop. And I say 3 months. I only said 3 months with the time because it's new. It's new. You go on one public date and then boom, like that's not like it's new. And I'm just sorry. I just feel like people shouldn't. You don't. Everyone has a past. And that girl who sent the panties at the beginning, she don't know nothing about because you didn't come out.
Baby, if you're listening, I've never got any panties.
For the sake of the conversation.
Yeah.
I want you to know this. Hear me. I've never got a pair of underoos, bloomers, and/or panties in the mail. It's just a conversation. I know you're not insecure. I am just trying to follow up on my pride.
Listen, I like your wife and I haven't even met her.
And you're not saying that because she's a control freak.
Right.
You're saying that because that's where you are in
Right.
a
And
relationship.
you are married.
Right.
You did it again.
Yes, you're doing it
You're
again.
sitting next to the fire and you just keep on jumping in.
I keep jumping in.
Leave her alone.
And she told him, hurry up so we can close, right?
Yes.
And he
All right,
said she
yeah.
keeps
Okay,
starting
so
the fire,
all right,
rekindling
all
it, huh?
right.
Stirring it.
Okay, Mel, it's your show.
All right. Okay.
If
Well,
you
what's your thoughts?
if you got another
The voice
match.
of the people. The voice of the people. I'm gonna let her talk and then we gonna end it because I just think that once you. That's just. Let me just say.
Oh,
There
boy,
you
here we
go. Here
go.
comes some more gas.
Voice of the people, yeah. Voice of the people.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be nice.
Extinguisher. Got it. We need one of those right now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
She's gonna extinguish us.
If we are in a relationship and you get panties in the mail,
Once again, I never.
it's a problem.
So I should have been upset about the panties.
Was y'all in a relationship?
It's over. Panties are over.
No, for real. For real.
No.
Should I have been
No.
upset? See,
No,
that's
they didn't have nothing to do with you.
right. And now, if
Maybe
we,
that's just me.
But
I'm
listen,
gonna feel some type
but
of
see,
way.
here's
Like,
the
really?
thing. Listen, if we are in a relationship and everybody knows that we are in a
It's
relationship,
not about everybody knowing.
listen,
They
let me
don't-
finish. I was not.
Is this
Should I
your
not have
original
been?
finish or your
Oh,
fifth?
wait a minute.
You know how the preachers go, right?
I know the preacher's like, give me 5 minutes, I'll let you go.
Listen. I'm gonna go ahead and close up. I didn't want y'all to act like a
No.
congregation.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
supposed to say, "Go ahead, Pastor." Go ahead,
Don't take your time.
Take
No,
your
Pastor.
time.
Don't take your time. No, Pastor.
Don't
No,
take my time.
no, Pastor.
Should I, honestly, should I have been offended by those panties? You think I should have been? This is a new relationship. Do you think that I should have been? Lobster Dawn says no. Yes or no?
Yeah, because you're going to start again.
No, I promise.
I'm going to say, no, because you
It was no.
You know, because you don't know where you were. You don't know if you were here, you don't know if you were there.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Okay. All right. So that's how I feel about the flowers. Look, hey, that's our time, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's do today's footnote. It is all about perception and experiences. And insecure, are you secure? Are you insecure? Kim Ham, the go-to girl, she said it best. Knowing the difference between control and insecurities. You have to know those. Today, emotions versus pride. Would you go back to that person if you feel as though you're like, why are you apologizing? You just apologizing that somebody felt some type of way. That's all. Just being kind.
It's
not
unfortunate.
that you did anything
No,
wrong.
I apologize. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, okay. Okay, there you go. It's unfortunate.
That's somebody
and
else's
live
emotion.
studio audience, you said it best. That's their problem, pretty much. That's their problem and not yours. And that's it. I'm not going to say the other phrase because Rugel's not even here right now. All right. So it's all about perception. Find you, embrace you, most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people, Shop Talk right here on Spreaker.com.
Did we?
Hey, it's Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to... We get it. Okay.
Did we come to a conclusion conclusion on this? I'm not sure.
Is there a conclusion?
Well, you got to make sure that's ended though. But you know how sometimes it's still you can
Still be
No,
on.
we're still live.
Oh, we're still going.
Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah,
Hey,
It's
somebody
still
let us
saying
know.
live.
Are we still live?
yeah, it's still showing up live.
it's still showing up live.
It's still showing up live.
Live.
All right. Because somebody, we got to press finish.
I did.
You know what? That's because people are inboxing